The Supreme Court hears a religious liberty case today after a year-and-a-half delay. It's about skinned knees. A church preschool and daycare center applied for a $20,000 grant from the state of Missouri to put a soft surface on their playground. It qualified for the grant, but was rejected. The Alliance Defending Freedom defended the Missouri church, saying it's every child's safety that matters. And the funding is not for a religious activity, it's simply about a place for children to play. Joining us now to understand more about this case is Erik Stanley, Senior Counsel for Alliance Defending Freedom. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You know, I know that you were in that courtroom today, and we should say at the top that there are reports that it went so well that the Supreme Court will rule in favor of the church. Did you guys put that out?
Well, yeah, I think we did, actually. We were very pleased with the court hearing today, how it went, the questions from the justices. In fact, more than a simple majority of the justices, in fact, I think most of them really agreed with our principle that we've been advancing in this case from the beginning, that you cannot discriminate on the basis of religious status in the provision of these neutral benefit programs, like a softer playground surface for kids.
Isn't the government constitutionally required to treat religious organizations equally? I don't understand.
Yeah, that's been our argument from the beginning. So Missouri has said that its state constitution allows it to build a higher wall of separation of church and state than the federal constitution does. And our point is, well, Missouri can't construct so high a wall of separation of church and state that it walls off the free exercise rights of its citizens and starts discriminating against religion. And that's what it did here. So if they could deny Trinity Lutheran Church this neutral benefit program that has nothing to do with religion, the next step could be maybe they could deny churches police and fire protection. And I think the justices were concerned about that in the hearing today.
And is this because of the Blaine Amendment? Missouri's a very interesting place for this to happen because of, in the late 1800s, it was a Protestant, Blaine, who was reacting to public sentiment that against Catholics, saying founding parochial schools, Catholic schools are not so good because the public schools already taught Protestant hymns.
Right.
And he tried to take that national when he ran for president, but he didn't win and it didn't work. But 37 states still adopted some form of this, including Missouri.
That's right. And Missouri's provision was actually adopted in 1875, which was the same year that the federal provision failed that James Blaine had put forward. And the Supreme Court in other cases has noted that the Blaine amendments in the states are born of what they call anti-Catholic bigotry. And that they have a historical pedigree that's really bad against Catholicism specifically. What's interesting is that that Blaine Amendment that was started in 1875 is now being used today in the same way to exclude religious people from public life solely because of their religious status.
You know, one other thing is that I noticed that the supporters of school vouchers are really following this case. What impact could this decision have on school vouchers?
Well, obviously, anytime the Supreme Court rules, it could have a far-reaching impact. And there's frankly been a lot of lower court confusion over how these type of neutral benefit programs work, how far can the states go in excluding religious people. You know, Trinity Lutheran Church had a playground, and they wanted a softer playground surface. That's it, just to protect the kids. So I think if we can establish the principle here in this case, and we're hopeful that the court will do that, we're more hopeful after the argument today, that religious people and religious organizations cannot be excluded from these programs solely because of their religious status, that it'll have obviously implications for others as well.
All right, very nice. Thank you so much, Erik Stanley, Senior Counsel for Alliance Defending Freedom.
Thank you.